Hey there, gang. Time for another unboxing video, and this one is picking right up where we left off yesterday. Same box. We're working on the same schlong. So if you missed that video, not all short boxes are created the same. Some are longer than the others. A long short box is called a schlong. So go to your local comic book store, ask him if he's got any comic book boxes, and tell him you'd like to have a good schlong. see what he says, or see what she says. But anyway, yeah, we're picking right up where we left off. So if you like comic books, stick around. We're going to have some fun. Hey there, Bubby. Welcome to Shanghalla. My name is Duke. This is an unboxing video. As I said, we're picking up where we left off yesterday. So please do like, share, subscribe, comment away, click the bell for notifications, do all the groovy things, and let us now yoiks and away. Boom, ba-doom, ba-doom. Picking up speed now because I think we're getting out of the uranium and out of the silver age. We're still in the bronze age, but these are all reprints. XMen was in reprint status from issue 67 to 93, and it was bi-monthly for much of that time, so it took several years to cover that ground. Kind of making it kind of a little sexy bikini version of Marvel Girl's costume there. I don't think that's how that's actually supposed to look. Here's number 77. Number 76. That's Banshee. Number 75 with the Mimic. 74. 73. El Tigra. We don't need no stinking mutants. 72. 69. A little more Mimic action. 68. Are there two in there? Why does it feel thick? I guess it just does. 119. So now we're into the all new, all different new X-Men. The Eagle Awards, that was a British award, a fan award for comics. And Eagle was actually the publisher that published the early Judge Dredd comic books. Here's number 112. Marvel Superhero Secret Wars, number 1. Classic Mike Grell cover. Doesn't get much better than that. Here's number 2. Oh, it's going to be the whole run, isn't it? Number 3. 3 is a key now. Now that everything's a key, but I forget why. Number 4. That became hot after a similar scene in the Avengers Endgame. Number 5. Number 6. These bags are stuck together. I've got to be a little careful. Number 7. First appearance of this Spider-Woman, which why anybody cares, I couldn't tell you. 8 is not in here. That's the first appearance of the black. No, not the first appearance of the black suit. It's the origin of the black suit. Number 9. So it's the first chronological appearance. Number 10. Number 11. And the last issue, number 12. Back to Iron Man. Here's number 14. Number 46. 47. Somewhere in here there's a first appearance of Thanos. I forget the issue number, but it's not going to be in here. That would have been picked and sent to CGC, I'm sure. It's number 48 with Inferno. Luke Cage, Hero for Hire, Sweet Christmas. Number 2. And in pretty nice shape. The white cover sometimes is hard to get nice and crisp and clean. There's the Black Mariah, looking somewhat different here in the comics than she looked in the TV show. This is, what issue of Justice League is this? This is a coverless issue. Oh, is this number 1? I think it is. Yes. Justice League of America number 1. So even without a cover, this should do okay. It should certainly at least cross that $10 minimum we try to get with every lot. So you tell me, how much would you pay for a coverless Justice League of America? It looks in pretty decent shape. other than not having a cover. It's not torn or soiled or anything like that. Little bit of wrinkling right here. But I think I would be willing to put out a fairly decent amount of money for a JLA #1, even with no cover. But you tell me in the comments below, what would you do? Here is Mark Merlin, and you might think that's Mark Merlin, but no, this is Mark Merlin. They tried really hard with Mark. This is a phrenology cover. You don't get many of those. They tried really hard to make a thing of Mark Merlin. After the superheroes kind of caught hold in the Silver Age at DC, they tried to get continuing features in each of the former anthology books. They just couldn't get something to stick in House of Secrets, or House of Mystery, really, either, for that matter. House of Mystery was the home of John Johns for a long time. But Mark, they tried hard. They kept him around for a while, but couldn't make it go. So, and you could see on that cover that they'd already brought in Eclipso by that point. Here's some giant-sized books. Always got to be careful with the giant-sized Marvel books from the mid-70s. They have a lot of notorious for having the spines all crushed in. It's an early Justice League. It is, in fact, #2. It's kind of a goofy cover. It's got this random tree here. Where the heck Flash is vaulting in from, nobody knows. But I think they put that tree there just to give Wonder Woman something to stand on. But the doorway to nowhere. Looks like a big old animal chew up here in this corner. And then maybe it was the kid who chewed it, because he was numb enough to do that to the logo. This is #4. This is the issue where Green Arrow joins the Justice League. Readers wrote in really right away. The Justice League initially appeared in Brave and the Bold for like 3 issues before they graduated to their own title. But readers were like, hey, why not Green Arrow? And it was kind of originally the Justice Society back in the Golden Age. They took 2 heroes from every DC All-American book other than Batman and Superman. And actually, it might have been just the All-American books, now that I think about it. Of course, DC and All-American were 2 different companies sharing an owner. Jack Leibowitz was he was a part owner of All-American, which was financed by Harry Donenfeld, who was the full owner of DC Comics. At this point, Leibowitz, I think, was just an employee at DC, or National Comics as it was then known. And actually, it was also Detective Comics. It was National Comics and Detective Comics Incorporated. That's a long story. We can get into at some point. But All-American Comics was run by MC Gaines. It was initially a separate, though joined company. And so the Justice Society was 2 heroes from each of the anthology books. And initially, when the Justice League came along, they did kind of the same thing, where they took, the heroes that had their own titles. Well, Green Lantern, I don't think, initially had his own title when the Justice League first started. But they took Flash and Green Lantern. But they only used Aquaman from Adventure Comics. They didn't take Green Arrow, because they took 1 from each book. John Johns was appearing in Detective Comics, and of course Wonder Woman had her own book. But anyway, that was a long way around the barn, wasn't it? This is the issue where DC took heed of the reader request, and they had Green Arrow join the Justice League, which was only fitting because the only superheroes to last all the way through from the Golden Age to the Silver Age without any interruption in publication were, of course, Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman, but also, thanks to appearing in Adventure Comics, Aquaman and Green Arrow. So, and that's kind of why you don't really have, an Earth 1, Earth 2 version of Aquaman and Green Arrow as you did with Flash and Green Lantern, for the same reason you don't with Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman. It's because they were published all the way through. So they did not need to revive those characters. Or even reboot them, because rebooting was not really a thing you did then. Well, no, I mean, it is a thing you did, but only not with a frequency they do it today. Journey into Mystery 99. So Thor hasn't quite taken over the title yet. I mean, he has in the sense that he's the lead feature, the cover feature, but not too many more issues. The JIM will get minimized and the logo will be Thor. You'd almost think it was Thor was the actual title of the book. Marvel Premiere number 2, The Power of Warlock. And that's only the second issue. Well, yeah, it's only the second issue because it's number 2. But what I was trying to say is Warlock would have 2 issues and then graduate to his own title. And then Doctor Strange would take over the book. Werewolf by Night number 3. That's nice with, I guess that's supposed to be the Bride of Frankenstein there. That's who it looks like anyway. Strange Tales, number 116. This is kind of a weird coloring on the Thing. I don't know what they were going for there. They almost kind of made him kind of a gray tone thing. Kind of strange, kind of wild, kind of weird. Strange Tales number 136. Silver Surfer number 18. That's actually the last issue of that run. And speaking of last issues, this is the last stack in this box. Here's Thor number 128. Here's Thor number 164. Phoenix, the Untold Story. So the deal on this, if you don't know, and this will take a minute to tell, so this will make the video a little longer. If you don't know the story on this, originally, of course, you had the Dark Phoenix saga going on in the X-Men title, and initially, because infamously, Jean Grey as the Phoenix, she's possessed by the Phoenix Force, and she kills this planet of aliens, these bug-eyed plant broccoli people, and it's like, I don't know, they actually put the number in the book. It's like 6 billion people or something like that she kills. She destroys this whole planet. And in the initial version of the story, the story would end and Jean Grey would not be possessed anymore and things would go on. Jim Shooter, the editor-in-chief of Marvel at the time, had sort of a Victorian sense of justice in literature, which, the rule was that the villain always had to pay for the misdeeds, even if the hero was the villain. And so he's like, you can't just, go on after something like that as if nothing happened. She has to pay some kind of a price. You've got to come up with something. And I don't disagree. You may. Certainly Chris Claremont and John Byrne did. So Chris Claremont tried to come up with some way to end the story so that there would be some retribution for Jean Grey. Couldn't come up with anything. And so one day he goes into the office and just in frustration, he just tells Shooter, you know what, we'll just kill her. And to his surprise, his everlasting shock, Shooter was like, okay. So they did the classic story that was published in Uncanny X-Men 137, or actually still X-Men. It didn't officially have the Uncanny modifier at that point. But they did the story where Jean Grey died, but they were always unhappy with it, felt that Shooter exercised too much editorial control, as if, that's a thing. And so John Byrne and Chris Claremont were always kind of pissed. So this came out, I think, about 82, 83, somewhere in that neighborhood. And so this retells that story, the Dark Phoenix saga, or at least the latter part of it, but ends it differently the way that Claremont and Byrne initially wanted to end it. So if you've got the Dark Phoenix saga in your X-Men collection, but you don't have this book, you kind of need this book, because that puts kind of an alt what if coda on the whole thing. Anyway. Venom number 1. Venom, the Enemy Within. I don't think that's not the first Venom title. I don't know. There's been about 5,000 of them. What if Spider-Man had rescued Gwen Stacy? Well, as usually happened, things go horribly wrong, and we realize that the actual 616 timeline is what needed to happen. So, much like Edith Keeler in Star Trek, Gwen Stacy had to die. Except in Mexico. And let me know in the comments if you got that reference. Tales to Astonish 48, still with Ant-Man and the Wasp. This, the porcupine, who looks kind of much like the scarecrow that we saw back at the beginning of this box about an hour ago. But there you go. And much as they tried to make a thing of Mark Merlin at DC, they just didn't have much luck really getting the Ant-Man to take off, even when they made him into Giant Man. So there you go. There's Tales to Astonish number 58. Wonder Woman. And so here, again, you can... Boy, these are really weird-ass zombie faces. Oh, I guess that's because they are Mirage Giants. That's why they look so weird. But anyway, you can get a sense here from looking at this why one editor at DC might have thought Wonder Girl was an actual character and not just Wonder Woman when she was a girl. That's how she ended up in Teen Titans. Because one editor who just was familiar with the books enough to know the covers, but not enough to have actually read the story, went ahead and threw Wonder Girl in the Teen Titans, not realizing that Wonder Woman, Wonder Girl, and Wonder Tot is just Wonder Woman at different eras, and she would team up and have adventures with herself. I'm not going to say that. No, I am going to say it. When I was 14, I had a whole summer of adventures with myself. I'm going to hell. Okay, Wings Comics. It wasn't too long ago we saw a nice run of Wings Comics. I don't know if this is a leftover from that batch or if this is a new book we got in. Hard to tell. A little ragged here in the end. You can see that. That's unfortunate, but that is a nice little cover there by Bob Lubbers, number 83 of Wings Comics. And here we have the last issue in this. Oh no, I lied to you. The penultimate issue in this box, Power of Warlock number 1. So as I said, he graduated from Marvel, premiering into his own title, and there's the first issue of it. And here is Werewolf by Night number 2, Like a Wild Beast at Bay. Ba-ba-ba. All right, well, that's it. That's everything in that box. I hope you enjoyed that. I had a good time. And until the next box, goodbye, good luck, and please be good to each other.